Hey gang, Hammersill here. So, Caltex sent this game file to me, and Lightning it's one of my favorite destroyers to play. It's very fun. It's nimble, it's got good guns, good torpedoes. They can be single-fired, which I just love. It has a lot of smoke. They don't last all that long, but because you have so many, I mean, you can see he's starting the game with 6. It allows you to kind of push in, ambush, smoke, fall back, and do that over and over. And you've got a hydro, which it doesn't have very long range, but it lasts for upwards of 3 minutes, which is just phenomenal. It makes it makes avoiding torpedoes so much easier. So the Lightning and really the entire Royal Navy destroyer line, in my opinion, once you get into the ships that have decent guns and maneuverability, are just awesome cap contesters, because the hydro makes it so hard for an enemy DD to put torpedoes on you. Anyway, I think it's a very fun ship to play, so I was really excited to get a chance to look at this. This is the first time that I've opened up the file, so we're watching this together. I haven't seen it. Matchmaking, not bad. You do have a CV to contend with in the form of an Ark Royale, but it's a tier 6 CV. So
enemy force detected.
Yes, it can do damage, and yes, those are rocket planes, which are really probably the most effective against the Lightning, but again, tier 6. So it's not going to be all that fast, the aircraft, all that fast, and makes it a little tougher for it to cover a lot of area. But it does seem to be heading right for Caltech's position here. Now he had his AA turned on, which made him an immediate target once that fired. For anyone unfamiliar with DDs, and I've done this myself, I generally, when I start a game, anytime there's a CV, I turn my AA off. The reason for that, if you're not aware, is that, and I'm sure Caltex is, the reason for that is that your AA is going to fire as soon as you have aircraft that are in range. And your AA range is almost always going to be significantly larger than your air detectability radius. So what do I mean by that? I mean, let's just say, for example, your AA bubble extends out, say, 4 kilometers. Well, on some of these destroyers, your detection range might only be 2.5 kilometers. So you could avoid being spotted by the aircraft if your AA was turned off. When your AA is turned on, as soon as you get aircraft in range, your AA goes off, which makes your detectability bloom expand a great deal in a real hurry, and it makes you an early target. So he's going to go ahead and get this cap. Awesome job. You can see that there is a Kagero just on the other side of the island. He's got Bugioni out there. Tirpitz. Now Bugioni's a real threat because those guns are super accurate. And he is plane spotted again. Not for long. What to do, what to do. Now, the torpedoes are very fun on this ship, but they do not have very good range. As I recall, there are 8-kilometer torpedoes, which it's a little bit limiting, especially if you're in a game where you've got radar to contend with, although in this game he really doesn't. Now you'll notice that he's scrolling with presumably with the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. You can use the tab key to
smoke screen set.
Tab key? Yeah, tab key. To do that much more quickly. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, If I was just playing the game, I would just be doing it. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's tab key. It's either tab or shift. But one of those just immediately zooms all the way out or all the way back in. Smoked up to avoid taking any more heat. And now he's repositioning. And you can see the Scharnhorst is pushing in. Vladivostok appeared to be pushing in a little bit. Tirpitz is actually reversing. Now one thing you can do, if you have mod station and you've got the mod that puts the little red dot, you see the little red dot above the Tirpitz? The red means he's reversing. If it was yellow, it means he's not really moving. And green would mean he's moving forward. What you can do is you can cycle through when you've got your targeting set up for your torpedoes. You can cycle through and you can see what each of those ships is doing. Target the Tirpitz, target the Scharn, in turn, and see what direction they're going, forward or back. Same with Vladivostok. Okay, take a look at the teams. Good guys are down 2 ships, and their Colorado has taken a severe beating. Maybe he'll spend a little time behind the island and get himself healed up a bit. But he does seem to be rushing headlong toward where the Terp and Vladivostok are going to be able to get guns on him. And down goes Shores. Shores? Shakors? I always call it Shores. No idea how it's really pronounced. And the good guys are down 4 ships. Bad guys only down 1. And Colorado did in fact go down. He probably should have just camped and tried to heal up. Now I know he had a DD pushing behind him. His choices were kind of limited, but he's gone. Massachusetts takes out the enemy Scharnhorst. And you can see there that at this point, Cal did have his AA turned off. He turned it on only when he was spotted. And since he is now unspotted, he turned it right back off. And he's in a position to begin trying to take this cap. Now you'll notice on his starboard side, if you look at the mini-map, it's on the H1, there's the enemy CV. Now hopefully the North Carolina and Massachusetts and Scharnhorst that are behind our hero are targeting him, and it looks like they are. If they can take him out, this game gets much easier to come back and win. You can see there the Tirpitz is reversing. And because he's reversing away, and these torps are only 8 kilometers of range, probably not much chance you're going to hit him unless you get closer. Belfast manages to take out Kagero. This game's much closer all of a sudden. Ah, there goes the Belfast. Gorizia takes care of Belfast. This game's still an uphill slog. But Cal's about to secure this cap. And that's going to help a lot. We've still got almost 12 minutes of time left, which is plenty of time. And unless the enemy Monahan can get down here in a big area, we basically have to teleport, given where he was last seen on the minimap. These battleships are in big trouble. They don't really have a whole lot of places they can go. And Cal is pushing into torpedo range now. He's going to watch the Vladivostok, which is kind of headed straight for him. Changing targets. And because he's got lots of smokes, he uses one right now to break line of sight. And now he can fall back. You can see the enemy Ark Royal is down.
Smoke screen set.
This game is still very winnable. And Cal knows what he's doing. There was no sense in him staying there where he could get shot up. Threw the torpedoes out and fell back. Tirpitz is pushing in, along with Vladivostok. He was spotted there just for a second. Yeah, don't make any turns, just run in a straight line, keep your speed up. Don't allow that Vladivostok to see you. 32 seconds until torps are back up. Now with any luck, North Carolina will get a good shot on the Vladivostok. Vladivostok's not angled real well against him. Oh, I shot over him. That's too bad. 5 seconds to torps. Turbines is beginning to change course and speed. Torps are away. Okay, so what Cal just did there, I want to make sure I mention. You saw that he torped the first drop was just ahead of the turbines. He was using the aiming markers. And the second was slightly behind. And that's because if he hits the turbines, almost certainly the turbines is going to slow down. Whether it's due to him decelerating or just the fact that he's going to be taking on water. That didn't work out that time, but that is another way to go. Oftentimes I'll shoot one set just behind where the lead indicator is and another ahead of it. But you can spread the torpedoes out that way. Down goes Tirpitz, and at this point, the good guys have a points lead. They are leading in a number of ships. Oh, Massachusetts might be in trouble here. And our hero is spotted. Vladivostok has brutal guns, but 15 seconds until Cal has torps again.
Fire!
Oh, he landed 4. And finishes up Vladivostok at point blank range with guns. That's pretty darn heroic. This game has flipped around again.
Problem solved, sir.
The bad guys have a 60-65 point lead. Let's take a look at the stats here. Cal has shot down a couple planes. He's secured a couple caps. Started 5 fires, landed 6 torpedoes, a whole bunch there just a moment ago. Just shy of 100,000 damage with 7 minutes remaining in the game. Single fire the torps. Nope. Sometimes just using the wide spread, which amounts to the narrow spread of most destroyers, works just fine. I tend to lean more toward spreading them out to cover more angles by single firing them, but your mileage may vary. Hard to argue with Cal's results here in this game. He's doing quite well. And now the good guys have a ship lead and a points lead, not a very big one. Ismail's pushing this way. The enemy Monahan is plane spotted. That was a preemptive torp, just kind of guessing. He was hoping, I'm sure, that the KGB was going to come starboard or to Cal's left. He's going to smoke up, get the guns working.
Activated.
And it looks like the KGB actually turned to port.
Smoke screen set.
Now you'll notice Cal is aiming high enough to hit the superstructure, trying to get fires going. There he goes. 1 fire, that's excellent.
Problem solved, sir.
If you can get another one, or if you can put torpedoes on the Ismail as he comes around the island. Well, if he hits him with a torpedo, he's going to sink. No doubt about it. Might get detected here. Nope. Island is just in the right place. It was a good turn. He timed his turn perfectly. Might get seen here just for a second. Ismail's he's gone.
Battle ends in fire.
Great job.
We destroyed an enemy battleship.
And this one's over, boys and girls. Great job, Cal. Game's not over quite yet in terms of what Cal's final stats are, but looking at him right now, 2 kills, shot a couple planes down, spotted some ships, did a couple of caps, 79 shots on target with the guns, 6 fires, landed 7 torpedoes for 2 floods, 110k damage, 440,000 potential damage, and a lightning, which, as you can see, has just under 19,000 hit points. That's pretty awesome. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fall back, let you watch the rest of this. Great game, Cal. Thanks very much for sending in the file. I really appreciate it. This was a fun one to watch. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, I have to admit, I did not expect the KGB to turn around. I love it when the last guy on a team does, and and it makes a fight of it. But unfortunately, despite the fact that it looked like Cal might have an opportunity, KGB's out of torpedo range by just a little bit at this point. Well, again, great game, very fun to watch.